all dragons in the Game of Thrones series. Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to Factholic. Today's video will especially be fun for Game of Thrones lovers. An incredible series full of kings and knights, crowns and swords, dragons and zombies, and our very own White Walkers. In today's video, however, we won't be dealing with any of those because we're here with all the dragons today. So, Dracarys. I just love that. Anyway, let's not get carried away now, and let's first have a look at the creatures of myth and majesty, the three dragons of Dany. Number 1. Rhaegal. Rhaegal was named after Daenerys' brother, Rhaegar Targaryen. His scales are slightly greener and bronze. He's also the dragon who has permission to mount. He was Jon's ride in Season 8 during the Battle of Winterfell, when Jon was mounted on Rhaegal and Dany was mounted on Drogon, respectively. Although sadly, Rhaegal was killed by a scorpion bolt to the neck. Number 2. Drogon. Drogon was named after Khal Drogo. He is the largest of Dany's dragons. He has mostly black scales with red coloration. He's often mounted and helped Daenerys to protect her on numerous battles, such as in Qyburn Scorpion. He's the most dangerous and terrorizing dragon. He's also Dany's executioner. He burns those who refuse to bend their knees, and it's said that he's the only known dragon left in existence. Number 3. Viserion. Viserion was named after her brother Viserys, who was killed by Khal Drogo in Season 1 after molten gold was poured on his head. And he was killed by the Night King in Season 7, Beyond the Wall, before being reanimated as a white. Still curious to know more about dragons? Stay tuned and keep watching. Dragons were being used as beasts of war because of their devastating powers through proper taming. Here are some known historical ancestors of dragons. Firstly, King Aegon I Targaryen, also known as Aegon the Conqueror, had 3 great dragons. Number 4. Balerion. Balerion was the largest of known dragons. His scales and wings were black. His fire was also black, sometimes with red swirls. He was called the Black Dread. He was the only one who died peacefully at the age of over 200 years old. Also, his shadow was so large that it could cover an entire town while flying. Number 5. Vhagar. Vhagar was the smallest of dragons, ridden by Aegon's sister-wife. Even though she was small, but her flames were enough to melt armor, she was killed by another dragon and her skull is stored in the Red Keep. Number 6. Meraxes. Meraxes was ridden by Aegon I's sister-wife, Rhaenys, in the War of Conquest. She was capable of swallowing an entire horse. During the First Dornish War, she was killed by a scorpion bolt. Number 7. Sunfire. Sunfire Dragon was known as Sunfire the Golden. He was personally mounted by Aegon II Targaryen during the Dance of the Dragons. He died while enduring wounds of the Dance of the Dragons. Number 8. Syrax. She was Rhaenyra Targaryen's personal mount. An angry mob of small folk stormed, which caused a massive riot in King's Landing, and she was killed there along with 4 more dragons. Number 9. Caraxes. Caraxes was known as Bloodworm because of his red scales. He was ridden by Prince Daemon Targaryen as his personal mount during Dance of the Dragons. He was a veteran of many battles and was killed by the dragon Vhagar. Number 10. Meleys. Meleys was a she-dragon with scarlet scales and pink membranes on her wings. She was the personal mount of Rhaenys Targaryen, the former mother-in-law of Rhaenyra Targaryen. Vhagar and Sunfire killed her in the Siege of Rook's Rest. Number 11. Vermax. Vermax was the personal mount of Jacaerys Velaryon, Rhaenyra Targaryen's eldest son. In the Battle of the Gullet, archers shot Vermax and Jacaerys until they died. Number 12. Arrax. Arrax was the personal mount of Lucerys Velaryon. Vhagar killed him in the Dance over Storm's End. 13. Stormcloud. Stormcloud was the personal mount of Aegon III Targaryen, who was Rhaenyra Targaryen's half-brother. He died from wounds during the Dance of the Dragons. Number 14. Sheepstealer. Sheepstealer was a wild male dragon with ugly mud-brown color. He was the personal mount of Nettles. He had the taste for mutton. He just disappeared during the Dance of Dragons and never came back. Number 15. Seasmoke. Seasmoke was a pale silver-gray dragon. He was the personal mount of Laenor Velaryon. After the death of Laenor, he was ridden by Addam of Hull. Number 16. Vermithor. Vermithor was a bronze dragon with great tan wings. He was Jaehaerys I Targaryen's personal mount. He was a fearsome beast. After Jaehaerys, he was ridden by Hugh Hammer. 17. Silverwing. Silverwing was a silver she-dragon ridden by Alysanne Targaryen as her personal mount. She was later ridden by Ulf the White during the Dance of Dragons. Number 18. Quicksilver. Quicksilver was the dragon of Aegon Targaryen. He was killed along with young Aegon by Balerion in the battle beneath the God's Eye. 19. Shrykos. Shrykos was a young she-dragon and was bound to Jaehaerys Targaryen before the Dance of the Dragons but never ridden. She was killed in the Dragon Pit, invaded by a half-crazy angry mob. Number 20. Morgul. Morgul was also a young dragon who lived during the Dance of the Dragons but never ridden. He was also killed with Shrykos in the Dragon Pit that was invaded by the half-crazy angry mob. Number 21. Tyraxes. Tyraxes was a young dragon and slightly smaller than Vermax. Joffrey Velaryon was the first and only rider of Tyraxes. He also lived during the Dance of the Dragons and was killed in the Dragon Pit. Number 22. Dreamfire. Dreamfire was a she-dragon ridden by Rhaena Targaryen. She had pale blue color with silver markings, silver crest, and pale blue wings. She was also killed in the storming of the Dragon Pit. 23. Vermithrax. Vermithrax was a dragon bred by House Targaryen. After his death, his skull was stored in King's Landing. Number 24. Giscard, Valerion, Osovius, and Arconi. Giscard, Valerion, Osovius, and Arconi were the dragons bred by House Targaryen. After their death, their skull was stored in King's Landing. Apparently, Giscard was named after the Giscard region. Number 25. The Last Dragon. The Last Dragon also belonged to House Targaryen, died more than a century during the reign of Aegon III Targaryen. His death marked the extinction of dragons in Westeros and beyond, until the birth of Daenerys Targaryen's dragons from her gifted eggs. So, that was the last of the dragons in the Game of Thrones. We hope you enjoyed this video. For more videos like these, keep watching Factaholic, and we'll see you in the next one.